In this video, we're going to look at using the SUMIFS formula to summarize or add up data where we have multiple categories. So with the SUMIF formula, we sum data using only one category. With the SUMIFS formula, we use multiple categories. So with our table, we have our SUMIF formula that's brought in the data for the years 2012, 2013, and 2014. And we can take the formulas that we've used at the top for the income statement and copy them down to the balance sheet. And what we need to do now is put in a category and a branch for each line. That will then enable us to use the SUMIFS formula to summarize the data per category, per branch, and per year. So how do we do that? Well, we have to use the category with the exact spelling and format on the sheets that we're doing the summary as we do on the sheet with the actual data in it. So, for example, printing and stationery is done with a capital P at the beginning and no capitals anywhere else. We've got spaces in between the words and the ampersand symbol. If you change anything there and make that a capital S over here, and on your summary sheet it's a small s, the formulas won't work. So the simplest way is to write your categories down, type your categories into the one sheet, the summary sheet, and then just copy and paste them across into the other sheet. In that way you won't make any mistakes, and the formula will look at the category on your summary sheet and your table sheet and see that it's exactly the same, and then bring in the data. Basically the way the formula works is it's looking for a category, you tell it where to look for the category, you tell it what category to look for, it then goes and adds up the data if it finds that category. That's essentially how the SUMIFS formula works. So very simply, I'm just going to copy in sales dog food. I'm going to copy over there and paste over there. I'm going to paste that down into the dog food section. There's another dog food section. I'm going to copy sales cat food, and I'm going to copy that into the table. So copy and paste, copy and paste, and copy and paste. And I've already done the categorization for all the other accounts, income and asset and balance sheet. Then all I've done on the branch is done a left formula. So I've said left, open brackets, gone to A6 where the account is, comma 1, to take the first character, press enter, and that's brought in the first character, which is A. In our account list, A starts at the beginning of all accounts for branch A, and B starts at the beginning for all accounts for branch B. In real life, it's not always that simple, but sometimes this is a very useful way of extracting data from a string using the left or the right or the mid formula. Okay, so now we've categorized all our data and we've put it all into branches. Now we can use the SUMIFS formula. So you say SUMIFS, open brackets, then the first thing we want to know is what range to add up, sum range. So we click on column C, comma, criteria range 1. It's asking you where to look for the criteria. So we're going to click on column G because that's where the category is sitting, comma. Now it wants to know what is criteria 1, and that is what's sitting in A5, comma. Now it's asking criteria range 2, and that's column H, because that's where the branch is sitting. Now it's asking, well, what is criteria 2? Click back to summary, and we haven't actually put it in anywhere, so it's actually branch A. I'm just going to say quote, A, quote, and close the brackets. And that's my formula. 2541097 sales for branch A for 2012. If you don't believe me, we can add it up. There, 2541097 dog food sales 2012. And there you go. So we can copy this down to all of the other accounts in 2012, and there we go. We can even copy this across for 2013. The only thing is we want to lock our references for everything except first part of the formula, which is what it's adding up, column C. We don't want it to add up column C over here, we want it to add up column D, because column C is 2012 and we want it to add up column D, which is 2013. The other thing is, when I locked the formulas, I didn't lock A and the 5, I only locked the A. If I had to lock the 5, and when I copy it down, you'll see it will look, you see what it's doing, it's looking at the criteria in cell A5, and because I'm in row 6, I don't want that, I want to look at, I wanted to look at the next row, which is A6. So, I can copy all of this down. All my criteria, all my ranges stay exactly the same. The only thing is, I'm adding up column D instead of column C. I can copy this across, and there we go. Now, for column B, I can take what I did here, and copy it in there. Okay, what's gone wrong? Well, remember what we're adding up is column C. Okay, now look what it's done. It's brought in exactly the same data as branch A. Well, why is that? Because I've told it to look for branch A. So I must tell it to look for branch B. Okay, we've locked the reference again. So take that out, and there we go. 875144 branch B, 2012. Do we believe that? 875144 branch B 2012. There we go. So I can now copy this down. And there's all of branch B 2012. I copy that across. And that's how we construct a table with SUMIFS to add up data using multiple categories.